Luiz Taasio Lula da Silva is seen as lot as a deliverer, as he is a wicked in Brazil, a man who came to force promise changing yet ended up outgoing policy in a really various heritage. His lifetime mirror how of lot Brazilians. He was unborn in 1945 in an impoverished household in the polar east of Brazil, or, by the period he was 7, his household had excited to São Paulo to discover job, as lot millions of Brazilians include made up and following him. Lula did not find out to recite before he was 10. At the age of 14, he got his at first job as a metal employee in the car factories on the suburb of São Paulo. It was in such factories how he begun receive implicated in policy. By 1975, he was head of the Metalworkers Association, or, through the 1970s and 80s, he helping organize main strikes in disobedience of Brazil's war guideline. This work grade has never got whatever in the planet out of a fight, out of persistence and out of the will to struggle before the late, he said workers in April 1980. In the identical monthly, he was detained for his participation in the strikes and detained in jail for a monthly. Soon following his produce he based the workers' side, the at first main socialistic side in Brazil's story. The side driven along trading unionists, creative intelligentsia and activists who were set on change Brazil's force pattern. But it was a length fight to the upper. Lula ran for CEO poorly 3 times up, ultimately creature selected in 2002. And while he done story as Brazil's at first work-class CEO, who reasoned it was period for Brazil to rotate a new web page. Changing, how was the key speech, how was the communication of Brazilian community, he told as he was sworn in January 2003. Community solved it was period to hammer a new way. He led Brazil for a time of unparalleled economical increase. Top prices for consumer goods intended how he had cash to expend on public programs. One of his largest legacies was lift millions out of poverty reduction, on to his ex-overseas secretary, Celso Amorim. Take 30 to 40 millionth human beings out of poverty reduction is fabulous, says Mr. Amorim. The Brazilians' identification in Lula since same's one of them, upcoming of poorer components, later proper a metal employee, and later all the way to the chairmanship, out of leaving of these origins. But he as well florid critique for conducting cash out of address the mandrel problems in community. Everyone was lucky since everyone had accessing to letter of credit, argues policy analysis Thiago de Arago. The ISA arrangement how didn't go of the shine of an economical schedule but of the term of the time. The nice times could not recent ever. Following serving 2 serial regulation in office space, the maximal permitted by Brazil's basic law, Lula stood downward on January 1, 2011. His friend Dilma Rousseff succeeded him as CEO, but as economical increase slow, policy discontent grew. In 2013, protests how begun above a growth in bus fares grew in a common express of wrath in pervert political community, a position how strengthened in the begin of transactions car clean in 2014, the largest corrupt practices inquiry the nation has always seen. Lula was a man who told he would present changing, but in the late, he too was loaded in corrupt practices. In 2017 he was condemned to almost 10 years in jail. Above concoction he recognized a beach flat in back for policy favors of a building business. In 2018, his verdict was stretched to 12 years. It is a accusation how has separated Brazil among such who since how he and his workers' side include been unjustly purified and such who trust judiciary has been serviced. Lula's heritage is blended. It proven how in a nation love Brazil present, he cannot be secured fair since of how big he was, says Mr. Arago. I believe the is a main heritage how Lula will keep for Brazilians, how no one is over the act. For months, he fought to stay out of prison, but in April the high trial told he had to begin serving period. Of the Metalworkers Association wherever he began his career, he gave his recent speaking, down there is no spot in hard to end my ideas, they are already protracted in the air and you can't detention them. Down there is no spot in hard to halt me of daydreaming, since one day I stop daydreaming, I'll hold daydreaming via yours minds and yours ambition. They include to aware how the die of a soldier cannot halt the coup, he told to the mob. And though overstick Lula has stored up the struggle, but it is one he has eventually lose, and that has led to the drop of elegance for the man who was one day Brazil's largest famous political figure. He is out of policy now, but yet in the minds of lot, and will go on to be menacing impact in Brazilian policy for a time to go.